Hey everybody, it's Chrissy Key Rollins here bringing you this week's energy update. And what was on my heart to share today is to talk about the gifts of retrograde. Right now, currently at the time of this broadcast, we are going through a Mercury retrograde, which happens every so often, and we don't set to go course correct until the 20th. So in these last few days of retrograde, I thought it would be helpful to unpack the gifts that the retrograde brings to us, especially Mercury being in retrograde, to help to allow more ease and flow over these last few days and help you to receive the messages that are you're being invited to engage with at this time. So Mercury is the planet that rules communication. All things communication are governed by Mercury. So when Mercury goes retrograde, when it starts going in the opposite direction of its usual course, what it does for us humans is it allows us to experience situations like past similar situations, but this time what we are being invited to do is to pay attention to our communications. What are we believing life is communicating to us about the situation that we are experiencing? And what's the communication that's going on inside of ourselves as we are experiencing this situation unfolding? If the communication that you're witnessing from the world and from your internal self is in alignment with the truth of all that there is, then you have unlocked and broken the code that will stop the cycle of this same situation coming up back again in your life. But if the last time that you experienced whatever circumstances you went through and the story that you told your internal self and you said about the situation, like what it means about life showing up for you or what it means about you and how you are showing up in life, if that story was incongruent, then it will cause an upheaval. You will reset the pattern and you will have to go through the experience again. So if you're finding yourself in one of those, here we go again, why is this happening now situations, and it doesn't matter if you're sending an email and it's lost in transmission and the other person never finds it, and that's your Mercury retrograde, what stories are you telling yourself about this transmission getting lost? What are you telling yourself about life having your back about this transmission getting lost? Whatever non-truths are happening, you're going to get the opportunity to live again, because you're going to have the opportunity to clear yourself again, to cleanse life again, to cleanse your filter again, so that you can have the experience of the same circumstances happening with the true story about life having your back and you being an empowered being in the process to run behind the experience. And until you get that true story, life's going to give you opportunity after opportunity after opportunity, especially when Mercury goes into retrograde, to go through these circumstances again. So if you find yourself in a here we go again situation, notice, what story did you tell yourself last time about yourself, about the other person, about the situation? What did you tell yourself about it meaning for life showing up for you or not? And what did you tell yourself about you and again, that other person? What stories were there? What were you communicating to yourself and back out to the world? What communications you received determine what actions you took on the other side. And that's your communication back to this world. And if that's out of balance, hello, retrograde's going to start it over again. You're going to get the opportunity to learn it again. So pay attention. What's the narrative? What's the communication? What's the story? What do I believe is being communicated to me? And what am I communicating back to life as a result? Now, I'm going to pull forth a card from these gorgeous mermaids to support the conversation that we're having today. And I invite you to join me over in the Conscious Success community. I'll drop a link below over on Facebook for a more in-depth spread if you like playing around with these mermaid oracle cards. I've got 3 cards already picked out for this week that are already up in the group. You can go check them out. Make your choice. Yeah, the card that came forward for this particular reading is card number 39, which is vulnerability. Open your heart. Allow yourself to be tender. So often when life gives us the hiccups, when it gives us the runaround, when things go off course, we start to close up and we stop being vulnerable. We put up our protection, we put up our survival self, we put up our defenses, and we stop being vulnerable. But what life is asking, perhaps this time around, just do your own reflection on this, where can I be more vulnerable to have a more honest communication with myself or someone else or the universe, or to more honestly interpret the communication that life is having with me? Reflect on this, see where it brings you to, drop some thoughts in your comments below. How do you feel about vulnerability, and especially in these trying times? And how is your experience with Mercury retrograde? What are your tips for getting through it and past it and beyond it and getting the most out of it? And if you found this helpful, feel free to share it with someone else. If you're watching on my YouTube channel, be sure to subscribe and share the video while you're here and drop some comments below with some feedback and thoughts. And I will see you soon. Bye.